Yes, a bit further. Start from, I don't know why but it's okay. Ladies and gentlemen, you are most welcome here in the presence of Ramses II. As I've told you before, this temple, it has been shifted, this one and the other one. This temple actually it was built for the sun god. His name is the sun god Rahar Akti. He looks like a man with the sun disk over his head, with a falcon head as well. And Ramses II as a god. So if this temple, it's an ordinary temple, I mean it's built, what's we gonna to find outside? The king is smiting his enemies. Instead of that, he made this scene at the back of the facade. So you're gonna to find inside, the king is smiting, Ramses II smiting his enemies. But at the back. Well, the facade, as you see, it's supposed to find 16 baboons on top. They are raising their hands in front of the rising sun. And you can see here 4 statues. They were cut in the rock, in situ, up in the original side. They are representing Ramses II. If you look there, you can see Ramses II, crown. He put the crown, stretching his hands over his knees. He put the cobra snake, the headed dress. It is called the Nemes. There are small figures. This his wives or members of his family, his sons, between his legs. Also, you can see in the middle, there are 2 figures for his wife, lovely wife Nefertari. Nefer means, beautiful, handsome, kind, good. Nefertari, it means the most beautiful. Well, if you look there to the base, it looks, the statues are different. The first one, he looks younger. The last one, he looks old. It's clear, by the way. How long it took? About 30 years to build this temple. Ramses II, according to the records on the temple, he visited this temple 3 times. Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there is chapel over there. This chapel it's for the sun god Ra. There are small statues over there for the falcon, for the sun god Ra acting like a falcon and the sun disk. Also some statues for Ramses II as the god Osiris. On the base of the statue you will find also the enemies. On this side, on the left, when we go in, on the left are Asian, and you will find also African, and the king put his feet above them. The second statue from the left hand side, it collapsed as you see. They said that since Ramses II, another king, his name is Seti II, put this piece up, they fell, and when they shift the temple, they left it as it is, as they found it. Then, when you go inside, you will find, by the way, look at that. This is the facade of the temple. You will find, this is the small pieces. When they decided to move the temple, they put, in front of the water, like, metal, and then they emptied this from water, and then they started to cover the facade of the statues with sand. They cut it by hand, by the way, okay, and then they rebuilt it. They built 2 concretes, and then they dismantled, they cut it, okay, up and down, and the whole temple, and then they rebuilt it inside. Then can you see these holes, by the way, to give them the chance to carry it? Okay, so they cut it. Why the sand? Because if they cut it without sand, probably it will collapse. Okay, so the sand helping them. This is the same system of the ancient Egyptians, how they cut stones, sandstone in the old days. They use sand in between. Well, and then they, like puzzle, by the way, they put it back. Okay, well, they were in competition, as I've told you before. How much the cost? It was $42 million, from 1960 till 1964, for this temple only. Okay, the other 14 temples, the Germans, it was much easier because they put them in 3 spots. it was dismantled. Well, Habibi, Egypt paid, by the way, during that time 25 million, and UNESCO they paid, or the International Bank they paid the rest. What about the other temples? The other temples now they are in two places, three places actually along the way. I will show it for you some on the way back. Inside, when you go inside, you will find a hole. This hole, on both sides there are four statues. One, two, three, four. They cut, by the way, in the rock, and they are statues representing Ramses II as mummy. On the walls of this hall, you will find some scenes representing a battle called Kadesh in the north of Syria between the Hittites and the Egyptians. During Ramses II, Ramses II he exaggerated about his victory. He told us, I divided my army into four parts and we caught two spies. They misguided us, but I was brave. I was at the head of the first, part of my army, okay, called Amun-Ra. The God, helped me, and I killed so many prisoners and so on. He told us I won the war, okay? But the Syrians told us the same. We won the war. After 20 years, by the way, every year of campaign, what happened? Ramses II and the Hittites they assigned the agreement of peace. First treaty of the peace worldwide, and he got married the Hittite king daughter. So it's the first diplomatic marriage.
It's at Juno.
Yeah.
This treaty is at Juno as the first.
Yes, it is the first treaty of peace worldwide. Okay, you will find some scenes, showing, how they make, the chariots and the camp, and also you can see here, the
Actually,
statues.
Ramses went into a trap of the Hittites.
Yes, that's what I told. That's what I told in a minute ago. Yes, you see, he was in a trap, and he saved himself because the three parts of the army they were at the back.
Yeah.
So he was fighting alone.
He alone escaped. All the other of the four guards,
Yes.
They were beaten by the Hittites.
Yes, okay,
But he only saved the day because he could unite
Yes,
with
yes,
the
sir.
other
Okay.
one.
Yes, thank you. Here, Habibi, the third one, you're going to find Ramses II. He's inside his chariot, okay, fighting the enemies, and you will find some details of the soldiers, okay, and it's colored, and you will find some scenes showing him, in front of the gods. This one here, Ramses II accompanying his lion, who's fighting, the enemy, and then the next hall. Oh, this is also a scene of Kadesh castle. And the next hall, you will find four pillars showing Ramses II, in front of the gods. And he's worshipping himself. This is our friend God. His name is the god Men, the god of fertility. Ramses II offers for him lettuce, the green salad. And behind him, his wife. Next one, you will find here, they carry the boat of the god. Okay? And then inside, you will find four statues. Look, those statues, Habibi. One, the sun god, Rahel Akti. And here, Ramses II. Here, it is the god Amun. And this statue of the god Bitah. He's the god of darkness, headless. So the sun here, when it rises twice a year, 21st of February, 21st of October, so the sun traveling between and penetrate for 30 minutes, goes through the columns, shining on three statues, leaving this one in dark. Okay? So that's how they adjust that. This is the summer and winter. Some scholars, they said the birthday and the crowning day of Ramses. Actually not, but it is just summer and winter. Okay? Well, Habibi, by the way, it happened now. When we shift the temple, it's become 22nd, not 21st. Well, the second temple, this one, you will find side rooms up there. They are unfinished, by the way. Okay? Well, if you look here, you can find two statues. They are flanking the entrance of Ramses. Then his wife, Nefertari. And then, two statues of Ramses again. So 6 statues. By the way, Ramses II, he married 8 formal wives, official. And he had concubines. His favorite one is Nefertari. Nefertari, he told us in his scene here, I cut this temple for my lovely queen Nefertari, her name inside cartouche. The sun rises every morning, especially for her. What a romantic, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
what about the other 7?
Yeah, but this is the only one who built for her a temple. And the only one who dug for her the best tomb in the valley, Queen's Valley. So his favorite. Some scholars, they said she's Nubian. We are not sure about that. Okay? Well, Habibi, next one, you will find no military scenes in her temple. This temple, it was built for Nefertari and a cow goddess. Her name in here in this area, Hathor, as well. Well, you can see here some scenes showing Ramses II in front of different gods like Amun, like Ibis, and so on. Inside, it's supposed to find a statue of the cow goddess, never found. There is an altar only like the altar here, but we find a scene. Look at the details here of the columns. This is the cow goddess. Next one, our friend Nefertari in her long dress with the cow, with the, you see the crown. Her name is in the front, and you see here she's holding the sistrum. It is the rattle, and this is a scene for the crown. Ramses II between the god. This is the only scene here of the god Set. Set, he is the god of devil. He looks like, you see, it's an animal. Could be, we are not sure which animal this. Maybe donkey. Okay, we are not sure till now. Which is it, donkey or, like pig? Then Ramses II here, he is offering, lotus flower, and his wife. And this one, it is Nefertari. They crowning her. Okay, Nefertari between the cow goddess and Isis, and eventually you will find the cow goddess. She's coming out of marshes of Delta. This cow goddess, according to the legend, she suckled and fed Horus when his mother Isis delivered him. It was, popular. It was very common. The lady to keep her shape, and her priest in a fit. So she rent, okay, or somebody, so feed her child. That's normal, by the way, in the elites of the society. Even, in the last few years here in Egypt, by the way, it is started.
We call it witness.
Witness?
Witness.
Witness. Okay. So this is the witness of, the falcon god Horus. She comes out of the, the marshes of Delta. Ladies and gentlemen, by the way, they add some blocks over there. You can see they are. If nobody tell you this temple had been moved, you will recognize that inside the temple. By the way, the distance or the space between the two blocks, it is hard. You can see it's maybe 1 inch or 2 inch. Okay, it's amazing job actually. Habibi, before we leave, this, by the way, this album you can have it and collect it in cover, of course, without the plastic.
Where?
It is, it is 160 Egyptian pound. This one.
Where can you purchase this? Outside? Or-
Sorry, I will reserve it and we collect it in the bus.
All right.
Okay. This one, it is, the about $8 American dollars, or the equivalent in Egyptian pound 160. The small one, this one here, it is almost the same, plus Ramses II mummy. Okay, here, yes, and plus the black and white. Okay, this one, it is 120. This one, okay, it is the black and white, and here the same scenes which we saw it, but they add Nefertari tomb in the valley, Queen's Valley. Okay, that is Nefertari tomb. Unfortunately, by the way, to open this tomb you have to pay like 20,000 Egyptian pounds. Yes. So the Americans, they pay. What is 20,000? It is You know, we used in the past to visit it like 20 years ago, but not anymore. It is, you know, to keep the colors. This Nefertari, she's playing chess. Senate, in her tomb, we call it the Senate. Okay, and this is the scenes here, and black and white, and the dome. And this is, by the way, David Robert paintings. David Robert, he was traveler like Emilia Edwards. He visited Egypt during the 18th century, and he drew the temples, and like the French as well. He's very famous, by the way. And you see here the scenes, and these are the statues. Okay, the same what I showed for you before. And this is how they started the idea. And this is the dome inside. It's concrete dome. Okay, Habibi, this is the design of the temple, and this is black and white photo. So this 120, and this idol photo, this is 160. If you would like to have them, please put your hand. This one, the big one,
Yes,
or the small?
the big one.
Big one.
Small one.
Small one. Yes, of course. Big one, small one. Okay, so two.
Yeah, maybe the small one.
So too small. Okay, Habibi, this here you can take whatever you want of photos. I just check. Usually we leave at 10, so still 1 hour and a half. Okay, till excuse me, what time?
8:33.
No, 8:30. 8:32. So usually we leave, you know, from the parking there at 10 o'clock.
10.
Okay, so you can enjoy your time here. Maybe you can start with the small one or the big one, whatever you want. And then, by the way, the other way, there are beautiful, you know, scenery over there in the corner to see the lake under the trees, and it's leading around the temple, and then the exit, passing by the visitor center, and then you pass by the shopping, the shops, and then at the end, you know, in the left, and there is cafeteria. Maybe you can have coffee or tea over there. Okay, so enjoy your time. If you have any questions, keep it in your mind. I'm willing to answer them. Something else, you know, I would like to clarify here. Why Ramses II chose this spot? For 3 reasons. To worship himself as a god far from the god Amun-Ra priestess. They will not allow for him to do that there. It is like a kind of respect. Also to show his power to the Nubians, by the way, in the yes, like a castle. I'm here. This is my castle. It's not a castle. It's a temple, but it's huge. I'm here. This is my statue. No, and
It's the same as in Germany.
yes,
The Romans, they built
built castles.
a big city, Xanten, at the Rhine,
It is the same,
simply
yeah.
to demonstrate against the Germans on the other
Yes.
side how powerful the Romans were.
Yes. The third reason is it is, you know, the change of summer and winter. They use that. By the way, there are other temples also the sunrise, like what? Like, you know, for there is a temple, you know, in Fayoum. Yes, sir. Yes, it will be. It's include, but not in details. It's include the facade includes 2 scenes of each temple. Okay. Big one. So 2 big, 2 small. Okay. Okay. So enjoy your time. And by the way, this up there, you will find also, you know, small details of the contract marriage between, you know, the Hittite king and Ramses II. He was very smart. He got married, you know, the Hittite king daughter. Why? That's what we call it diplomatic marriage. He hit one of his wives. Yes. In the middle you can see the Sun God Ra and 2 figures of Ramses. They are in a worshipping position. Yes.
There is one interesting aspect in this story, because not soon after Ramesses,
Yes.
the Hittites suddenly disappeared.
10 يا باشا. Oh.
Suddenly disappeared from the political scene.
Yes.
Up to then they were somehow equal powers, like
Yes.
US against Russia, so to say, in the Cold War. And now, so after Ramesses, not long after, the Hittites simply were not present any longer. That was a puzzle to the the scientists, yeah. But it turned out that what happened is that the Hittite Empire was conquered by the so-called Illyrians.
Oh,
They came,
عايزين نخلص ده. مش حلو مش حلو.
they came from the region around Thessaloniki.
Thessaloniki in Greece.
Greece. So they crossed the Hellespont
Yes.
into Turkey and then started to conquer.
What is your source in that? There's a book about that.
Oh, that's known from basic history, European history.
Yes.
So they went into northern Turkey and they started some kind of guerrilla war.
Yes.
But in the end, they were able to overcome the Hittites.
Yes. Okay. Can you stand there, please? Is it recording or?
It's a video.
I'd like to take a photo of it. ثواني يا باشا عشان